There is a drawer in my desk that I do not open very often. It is the bottom drawer, the one that sticks a little when you pull it. Inside there are old photographs, a broken watch, a key to a door I no longer remember, and at the very back, folded into thirds, slightly soft at the edges from being handled and then put away, there is a letter. I wrote it on a Tuesday. I remember because it was raining, and the rain on a Tuesday always feels more serious than rain on other days. I sat at this same desk, in this same chair. I picked up a pen, and I started writing. The words came quickly at first, then more slowly. Then I stopped, folded the paper, put it in the drawer, and never sent it. Everyone has a letter like this. Maybe you have not written yours yet. Maybe you wrote it in your head in the dark at 2 in the morning. Maybe you typed it and deleted it. Maybe you said the words out loud once to an empty room. But the letter exists. It always exists, somewhere. The first word today is compose. C-O-M-P-O-S-E. Compose. Compose means to create something or write something carefully. You compose a letter. You compose a piece of music. You compose your thoughts before speaking. But compose also means something else. To compose yourself means to become calm again after a strong emotion, to gather yourself, to breathe, to become steady. You can say, "She took a moment to compose herself before speaking," or "He sat down and composed a long letter." Both meanings live in the same word, creating something and becoming still enough to create it. Compose, the word before the word. I do not know how to start this. I have started it 6 times already. 6 different first lines, all of them wrong. So I'll just begin anywhere and trust that you will understand. You always did understand, even the things I never said, especially those. There are things I should have told you when I had the chance. Not big things, not declarations or confessions, just small things, the kind of things that seem unimportant when you are inside them, but become enormous when they are gone, when the person is gone, or the moment is gone, or both. The second word is unspoken, U-N-S-P-O-K-E-N, unspoken. Unspoken means something that is felt or understood, but never said out loud. An unspoken agreement, an unspoken rule, an unspoken feeling that both people know is there, but neither person says. There is something quiet and powerful about unspoken things. They sit between people like air, invisible, but always present, always felt. You can say, "There was an unspoken tension in the room," or "The gratitude between them was unspoken but real." Unspoken, the word for everything that lives between the lines. I remember the last time I saw you. It was ordinary. That is the thing about last times. You almost never know they are last times when they are happening. We said goodbye the way we always did, quickly, casually, like there would be another time soon, like there would always be another time. If I had known it was the last time, I would have paid more attention. I would have looked at your face longer. I would have noticed what you were wearing. I would have listened more carefully to how you laughed. I would have said something real instead of something easy. The third word is regret. R-E-G-R-E-T. Regret. Regret is the feeling of sadness or disappointment about something you did or did not do. It is looking back and wishing something had been different, wishing you had spoken when you stayed silent, wishing you had stayed when you left, wishing you had sent the letter. You can say, "I regret not telling her," or "He has no regrets," meaning he is at peace with every choice he made, or "She spoke with deep regret." Regret is not the same as guilt. Guilt is about something you did that hurt someone else. Regret is about what you lost, what was left undone, what lived in the drawer unsent. I want you to know that I thought of you more than I ever said. That is probably strange to hear, that someone who said so little was thinking so much. But that is how I was with you. Quiet on the outside, loud on the inside, full of things I turned over and over, like stones in a pocket, warm and worn smooth from holding. The fourth word is linger. 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 To linger means to stay somewhere longer than expected, to be slow to leave, to remain when most things have moved on. Some people linger in your life. Long after they have gone, they are still there somehow, in the songs you cannot listen to without thinking of them, in the habits you picked up from them, in the way you sometimes say a phrase they used to say, without even noticing. They linger. Even when they are absent, they linger. You can say, "The memory lingers," or "She lingered in the doorway, not quite ready to leave," or "Something about him lingered long after we lost touch." Linger. The word for staying without being asked. I never told you how much your kindness meant to me. Not the big kindnesses, not the times you helped with something important. I mean the small ones. The way you always remembered the small things I mentioned once and forgot I had mentioned. The way you noticed when I was tired before I said so. The way you made room for people, not just physical room, but the other kind, the kind that is hard to name, the kind that makes someone feel like they exist a little more clearly when you are around. The fifth word is tender. 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 Tender means gentle and showing care. It describes a touch that is soft, a word that is careful, a moment that is delicate and full of feeling. You can say, "She spoke to him in a tender voice," or "It was a tender moment between them," or "He looked at the old photograph with tender eyes." Tender also means sensitive. A tender subject is one that must be approached carefully because it can hurt, because it matters. You may have your own letter, something you have been meaning to say, something you started once and could not finish, something you have carried so long it has become part of you, part of the weight you walk around with, part of the silence you keep. I am not going to tell you to send it. That is not always the right thing. Sometimes the letter is better unsent. Sometimes writing it is enough. Sometimes the act of putting it into words, of taking the feeling out of your chest and placing it on a page, is its own kind of release, its own kind of sending. But if you have not written it yet, perhaps one day you will. Not because the other person needs to read it, but because you need to write it. Because some feelings only become clear when they are written down, when the hand is moving and the heart is following, and the words come out, surprised at themselves, saying things you did not know you knew. The sixth word is vulnerability. 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 Vulnerability is the quality of being open to being hurt, of showing your real feelings even when it is risky, even when you do not know how the other person will respond. A letter like this one is an act of vulnerability. It says, "Here is what I really feel. Here is the part of me I usually hide. I am showing it to you. I am trusting you with it." You can say, "It takes vulnerability to ask for help," or "She showed great vulnerability in that conversation." In English, vulnerability is not a weakness. More and more, people understand it as a kind of strength, the courage to be seen, the bravery of an open heart. Vulnerability, the word for taking off the armor. I hope you are well. I hope wherever you are, there is something good happening near you. A cup of something warm, a window with light coming through it, someone who makes the ordinary feel a little better. I hope the good things linger for you and the hard things pass quickly. I hope you know, without needing to read this, that you were thought of, often, warmly, with more feeling than I ever found the words for. The seventh word is closure. 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 Closure means a feeling of resolution, an ending that feels complete. When something difficult in your life reaches a point where you can finally let it go, accept it, move forward without it pulling you back. You can say, "She needed closure after the relationship ended," or "Writing the letter gave him a sense of closure." Closure is not always about getting an answer from someone else. Sometimes it comes from within, from making peace with things that cannot be changed, from folding the letter and placing it in the drawer and deciding that's enough.
The first phrase, "I should have said this sooner." This is how we admit that we waited too long, that we knew and did not speak, and now we are speaking. I should have said this sooner, but I am saying it now. It is honest. It does not pretend the delay did not happen, and it moves forward anyway. The second phrase, "for what it is worth." This phrase comes before something you want to say, even when you are not sure it will help, even when you know you cannot fix what happened. For what it is worth, I always admired you. It says, I know this may be small, I know it may be late, but I want to say it anyway, because it is true. The third phrase, I have been meaning to tell you. Meaning to do something means you had the intention, but not yet the moment. I have been meaning to call. I have been meaning to reach out. I have been meaning to tell you that I think of you. It is a gentle admission of time passing, of feelings waiting, of a letter that was almost sent many times. And the fourth phrase, it meant more than I showed. This might be the most important phrase of all, for all the times we felt something deeply and showed very little of it, for all the quiet people, the private people, the ones who carry warmth inside like a fire in a closed room. Your kindness meant more than I showed. Your friendship meant more than I showed. You meant more than I showed. 5 words, worth every one. The words from today: compose, unspoken, regret, linger, tender, vulnerability, closure. Hold them gently. They are all words for the things we feel most deeply and find hardest to say. I close the drawer now. The letter goes back to the dark, back behind the broken watch and the key I cannot place. But something is different now, because I read it, because you heard it, and that makes it, in some small way, sent. Thank you for listening today, for sitting with something tender, for staying with the quiet feelings. Not everything has to end with answers. Some things end with simply, I said it, I was heard. That is enough. Until next time, take good care of yourself, and if you have a letter waiting somewhere inside you, unsent and patient, know that it is not too late. It is never too late to say the true thing, even if the only person who hears it is you. Goodbye, for now, with more feeling than I have found the words for.